All right, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Daly coming at you live, uncut and unrated. And today we're going to bust open a box of 1989 Fleer baseball cards. And this is exactly how I got them, guys. So the box is not sealed, and I'm just a little bit curious as to what could be lurking inside these packs. The packs actually don't look too bad at all. So I may not keep you through each pack. We'll see how long this takes. But let's get started. Pack number one. We got our sticker. Don Baylor, Steve Jets, Jeff Musselman, Sid Bream, Tim Launder, Darryl Strawberry, Checklist, Gary Rudis, Jim Presley, Vince Coleman, Marty Barrett, Jerry Reeves, David Concepcion, Dave Martinez, Ray Quiones. All right, there's pack one. I'll do a double check through these at the end. Detroit Tigers, Tom Browning, Mike Diaz, Bob Melvin, Jamie Moyer, Jim Ganter, Mark McLemore, Fred Tolliver, Moreland, Jeff Hamilton, Chad Kruger. Okay, so go for two so far. Let's go for three. Jesse Barfield, Andy Van Slyke, Herbert. There we got it right there, baby. Billy Ripken with the fuck face. All right, let me pause. Okay, sorry about that. I just had to set Billy off to the side there. Rick Skew, Ted Simmons, Rafael Ballard, Bill Swift, John Costello, Dwight Evans, Carlton Fisk, Van Schneider, Mike Fitzgerald, Jerry Reed, Candy Maldonado. All right, more now. And just to give you guys an idea, some of them that we're looking for here are the Billy Ripken that we just pulled, Randy Johnson, Treadway, Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Craig Biggio's rookie cards in here, Steve Finley, Joey, Albert Bell, Deion Sanders, Gary Sheffield. There's a couple other error cards. Tom Browning, Craig Matthews, Darryl Strawberry. He's a good guy. I'm going to leave him out. Cal Ripken Jr., that's a good one. Bill Buckner, Doug Jones, Dave Gallagher, Chris Spires, Spike Owen, Greg Maddox, that's a good one. Bill Wegman, and okay. So, I'm going to set these off to the side. Here we go. We're busting them open now. St. Louis Cardinals, Rob Deere, Chuck Finley, John Christensen, Mike Harry, Alan Trammell, Roberto Alomar, Brian Holton, P.B. Brooks, Brett Sanderberg, Ken Hill and Dennis Cook, Delmar Korhanek, Jim Pekanavanis, and Brian Harvey. All right, guys, come on. Come on with it. So, okay, so I had another box of these, and the guy bought them with some other stuff. And he said he got absolutely nothing out of there, so I didn't really want to sell this box. I kind of wanted to just bust it open and see what could be in there. Andy Reddy, Kurt Gibson, Tim Burke, And then I have a list of numbers. Once I get all these cards sorted out, I will double check the numbers on the back for the special, any error cards or anything that I'm missing here. But there it is right there. Boom. Now that tells us that this would be the case that may not have the actual F face on it, but it's got the black box. That's still a good card. Dave West, Richie Hett, Eric Daves, Kelly Paris, Trevor Wilson, Carlos Quintana, Mark Grace, Eric Bullock, Douglas Lewis Salazar, Tony Gwynn. All right, here we go, guys. We're in it to win it. White Sox, Glenn Wilson, Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Darryl Boston, Otis Nixon, Brett Butler, Tom Brookins, Fernando Valenzuela, Mark Williamson, Juan Acosta, Dave Stewart, Sandy Alomar Jr. Okay, we're starting to make a mess here. We're having fun. Our Yankee sticker. Joe Hexeth, Mike Jackson, Robbie Thompson, Jay Tibbs. Oh, there's a Nolan Ryan. Put him over here with Dave Henderson, Mike Brumley, Scott Nielsen, Lance Parrish, Jesse Guzman. Hot hitters, Wade Boggs and Carney Lansford. I'll leave that one off. Larry McWilliams. All right, guys. Y'all still with me? We're almost halfway done, so we can go through these a little bit faster. I don't want to mess up my cards, though. Tony Fernandez, Kurt Young, Marvin Freeman, Dave Schmidt, Doug Sisk, Jose Alvarez, Bob Kipper. Bob Kipper looked like he smoked him a fatty right there, boy. Scott, sound like a good idea. Scott Terry, Mike Greenwell, Bobby Typin. These are cut off at the top. Look at that. They're long at the bottom. Cut off at the top. That's wild. Okay. Okay, these dudes are just going to get stacked in one little pile. Let's go. So yeah, instead of like trying to sell these as a box because they're open, they're all marked right here too. And that's marked on the outside of the box. I don't think that really means anything though. Texas Rangers, Chuck Krim. There we go, Bo Jackson. Bo's going to go up there. Bob McClure, Scott Bales, Chris Sabo, Checklist, Charlie Hayes, Steve Curry, Johnston Dunkston, Paul Voltaire, Tony R. Ramos, Jody Davis, Frank Tan, Benito Santiago, Terry Taylor, and Vance Lovelace. All right, let's rock. Oh, I know we got Tim Tufel, Oakland A's, Terry Kennedy, Glenn Davis, Dave Parker, Jack Clark, Tom John, Mike Maddox, Ruben Sierra, Del Murphy, Dole Hart, Mark Davis, and Dwight Coden, Ron Washington, Daryl Hamilton, Bill Pacoda, and Tim Tufel. Come on, guys. Let's rock it. Okay. Cincinnati Reds, Greg Swindle, John Franco, Barry Jones, Kurt Van Warning, Jim Rice, Rafael Palmonero, Peguera, Willie Frazier, John Moses, Jeff Robinson, Andy Hawkins, Mike Devereaux, Jose Encina. All right. Okay. We're almost halfway through the box. Mark Davis. Mike Burbeck, Jeff Montgomery, Sid Fernandez, John Farrell, Cal Daniels, Lance Johnson, Dennis Lamb, Vance Law, Dan Plalascala, Dan Petrie, Gene Larkin, Darren Jackson, Jack Morris, and Mark Davis. All right, man. We got Brett Butler on the bottom. Rick Honeycutt, Greg Cross, Mike Flanagan, Jim Gott, Greg Cagney, Jeff Blauser, Bill McGuire, Todd Worrell, Bob Stanley, Daryl Boston, Herm Winnigan, Otis Nixon, Alan Davis, and Brett Butler. I like Brett Butler. Oh, that's because. All right, let's go. Willie Upshaw, Baltimore, Carney Lansford, Matt Williams, Claudel Washington, Kevin Gross, Paul Keglugas, Al Hall, Like Father, Like Son, Roberto Alomar, and Sandy Alomar. That's pretty cool. Tim Jones, Don Gordon, Lynn Ziska, Tim Traber, Don Filer, Mike McFarlane, Mookie Wilson, and Willie Upshaw. Okay, we're getting into the second half of the pack. And John Candanello, Buddy Bell, Brian Downing, Steve Stive, Mike Gallagher, Milt Thompson, Ernie Witt, R.J. Reynolds, Gary Gakey, Julio Franco, All-Star Team, Checklist, Vincent Palacios, Edgar Martinez, Tony Pena, and Ellis Burks. So, guys, is there a way to search these? If someone searched these and they just missed that Bill Ripken, Bruce Sutter. Well, I saw that you could see through the front, but on the front, it just shows through. It's going to show what sticker. You see, I don't know if y'all can see that, but you can see here. So I thought that might be a tell, but I'm not sure. Alfredo Griffin, Bobby Witt, Nelson Santata, Kevin Seitzer, Pedro Guerrero, Joe Skinner, Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson, that's a keeper. Let's see what's up on the Randy Johnson. It's supposed to have, it's number 382. Let's see. Randy Johnson, 381. And I do believe that in some of them, maybe it says something on this background right there. But there's the Randy Johnson. Kirk McCaskill, George Bell, Doug Jennings, Tommy Gregg, Pat Borders, Jose Lind, Kirby Puckett. Oh, I like Kirby Puckett. He's going to go with my good guys there. And Bruce Sutter again. All right, man. We're past the halfway mark, guys, so just bear with me. Let's see. There's got to be another good one in there. Scott Nelson, Lance Parrish, Jose Guzman, Paul Asselmalner, Wade Boggs, and Corey Lansford again. Rod Allen, Wally Backman, Dave Schmidt, Chris Bosio, Nick Capra, Bob Ojeda, Andy Jackson, Mark Salas. Tom Brookins, Fernando Valenzuela, Mark Williamson, Juan Agosto, Dave Stewart, Sandy Alomar Jr., Steve Shields, Shay Riley, Gino Petrelli, Ozzie Virgil, Ken Daly, Dave Clark, David Cohn, and Larry Sheets. Fellas, it just takes one pack to make your dreams come true. Tom Gordon, Keith Miller, Brooke Jacoby, Jose Rio, Sean Eva, Mike Boddicker, Barry Hill, Brock, Lazarco, Davidson, Pat Perry, Lou Whitaker, Ed Whitson. Okay. Trying to get a little bit more enthused here. Sticker, 89 Fleer All-Star Team, Darryl Strawberry. Checklist. Kerry Reedus, Jim Presley, Vince Coleman, Concepcion, Dave Martinez, Quiones, Ruchel, Wallewanger, Shelby, Bradley Anderson, and Gerald Young. And once we open all these, I'll go through and look at the numbers on the back and and make sure that we didn't miss anything here. Greg Matthews, Jeff Kaiser, Darryl Strawberry, Jeffrey Leonard, Bill Buckner, Kevin Elsner, Joe Jones, Treadway, Gallagher, Spire, Owen, Greg Maddox. I don't know if that's on my list, but it's going up there. Wiegman, Cliburn, Harper. Let's go. Ivan Calderon, Verstas, Brian Holman, Scott Bradley, Ernest Riles, Eric King, Mike Marshall, Terry Kennedy, Glenn Davis, Dave Parker, Jack Clark, Tommy John, Mike Maddox, Ruben Sierra, and Dale Murphy. And we're down to 8 packs. Randy Reddy, Odell Jones, Gary Thurman, Mackie Sasser, Mel Hall, Rob Murphy, Dan Pasquata, Kevin Romine, Troy Meyer, Sherman Corbett, Goose. Looks like a goose. Gary Pettis and Randy Reddy. Mike Greenwell, Checklist, Dave J, Tom Bernowski, Bissinger, Steve Lyons, Ron Robinson, John Dobson, Mark Langston, Scott Glenn, Dave Bergman, Earl Hersher, Mickey Tettleton, and Bill Duran. It was worth it for me to pull the Billy Ripken out, so I don't know about y'all, but I'm happy. Oh, there you go, baby! As I just said that. Let's see. Booyah! Asheville, Tucson Astros. Biggio. Put Biggio up there. Okay. Johnny Ray, Kelly Gruber, Eric Plunk, Von Hayes, Eric Ihorn, Junior Ortiz, Jeff Reardon, Ariel Harashan, Dave LaPointe, Jay Berner, Tom Bruscus, Todd Bessinger, and Steve Lyons. All right, fellas, we're down to 5 packs. Let's go. 5 packs, guys. Ron Robinson, John Dobson, Mark Langston, Don Robinson. Ron Robinson and Don Robinson. There you go. Okay. Dave Bergman, Arnold Hersher, Mickey Tettleton, Bill Duran, Dennis Eckersley, Dave Winfield, Hal Morris, Greg Harris, Jeff Russell, Gerald Perry, and Picture Perfect Tom Browning. 4 packs. 4 packs, guys. Let's rock. Tim Wallach, Willie Wilson, Gary Sheffield, Gary Ward, John Fischel, Chili Davis, Tom Hinkie, Rick Honeycutt, Greg Gross, Mike Flanagan, Jim Gott, Greg Kanye, Larry Sheets, and Jeff Blauser. 3 packs. 3. This is number 3. Louis Paulina, Jack Lazarco, Mark Davidson, Pat Perry, Lou Whitaker, Ed Whitten, Steve Wilson and Cameron Drew, Dave Anderson, Charlie Ho, Brian Smith, Floyd Bannister, Rafael Santana, Larry Anderson, Jim Leopard, Manny Lee, and Louis Paliano. Okay, 2 packs, guys. I'm getting a little careless here. I don't want to mess up a good card here. Chris James, Cecil Fielder, Jeff Robinson, Alan Anderson, Frank Viola, left-handed pitcher Twins. Okay, checklist. Mike Dunn, Eric Hansen, Willie McGee, Rick Cerrone, Mike McDowell, Norm Charlton, Jenny Petraeus, Henry Cotto, and Kelly Downs. The one very last pack, guys. Let's rock this thing open and see what the stars have us lined up for us here. All right. Joe Price, Mike Smithson, Wes Lancaster, Glenn Braggs, Terry Clark, Steve Lombard-Bazar, Rick Pinot, Chet Lemon, Lance McCullers. Lance McCullers, okay. Joe Garafi and Roland Romes, Mike Davis, Cialo Guante, Dennis Martinez, Chris Brown. All right, so what we got? We got Greg Maddux. We got Randy Johnson. We got Bo Jackson. We got Craig Biggio. We got Billy Ripken, F Flock face card. The block out. That thing looks pretty good, fellas. Look at her. Okay, I don't want to touch it too much. And then over here, I just kind of got Darryl Strawberry, Kirby Puckett, Wade Boggs, Jesse Barfield, Nolan Ryan, Greg Maddux, Cal Ripken Jr., Darryl Strawberry, Andy Van Slyke, and all right, I'm going to double check and make sure if we have any other maybe error cards or whatever. All right, I'll double check that. I'll get back with all of you people, but this was fun, right? There you go, Billy Ripken. An F face card out of this box. Who would have guessed it? Y'all have a badass evening, even better tomorrow. Rob Daly. Peace.